Welcome back, guys. So today's video is about Decred, and I want to be forthcoming. I knew very little about this project up until a few days ago. So that being said, I don't hold any Decred, but I asked Twitter as usual and got a pretty overwhelming response of people who wanted me to cover this topic. I will admit that finding the exact history on this project and where it started from was a little bit difficult. The creators of Decred, which stands for Decentralized Credit, valued privacy and anonymity so much that they themselves were pretty private and anonymous. The current project lead is Jake Joachim Pyatt, but he's not the project originator. The roots of Decred started in April of 2013, when someone named Taco Time had commented on a Bitcoin talk thread. He asked around to see if anybody was interested in participating in creating an altcoin because he said he wanted to make something that actually improved upon the current systems. And this eventually became Memcoin 2. At some point in 2014, the anonymous developers reached out to Jake, who at the time was the CEO of Company Zero. The company's focus was privacy and security-based blockchain solutions, and at that time, the anonymous developers and Jake started working together. In December 2015, the Decred project was finally announced as an open, progressive, self-funded cryptocurrency with community-based governance built into its blockchain. And then in February 2016, the Decred mainnet went live. Let's talk a little bit about distribution and how the coin was made. Decred was originally funded by Company Zero, and all of the expenses were paid for by the developers out of pocket. The cost of developing the project was about $300,000 in US dollars. And the Decred team figured the best way to deal with those costs was to do a pre-mine as part of the Decred launch. The pre-mine consisted about 8% of the 21 million total circulating coins, and that came out to about 1.68 million coins. This was split equally between the compensation for the team, for paying back the company, and for the cost of the airdrop. The airdrop was 840,000 coins. That was 50% of the pre-mine and only 4% of the total Decred supply. The current market cap for the project is $703 million, and that places it at number 48 out of the top 100. The airdrop was available for anyone and ran from January 4th to January 18th, although not all those that signed up were allocated airdrop coins. As with most free events, there was some dishonest signups, so it took the team a little while to weed through and get rid of the fraudulent accounts. 2,972 people received about 282 DCR for free. That totals about $30,000 today. Decred values technological progress in just about any form, so the airdrop was really tailored to finding people that were helping to promote the crypto community. Something as simple as tweeting about cryptocurrency would have made you eligible for the airdrop. Part of the reason they did the airdrop is because they figured that it would help to get the coins out to people, have people start talking and get interested, but it would also help to decentralize the network and distribute some of the coins. And the Decred team made sure to let everybody know that the participation of this airdrop was unconditional, meaning that the Decred team wasn't expecting anything in return. Normally, pre-mines leave a bad taste in people's mouths. They think it's a little bit dishonest, but the Decred pre-mine was a little bit different because nobody received free coins without paying in some way, shape, or form. All coins owned by the project developers were either purchased at a rate of 49 cents per coin, or they were traded for work done on the project. Let's cover the technology a little bit. This is where it gets interesting. Decred's system uses a hybridized proof of work and proof of stake system. And basically what this means is it just takes the better parts of both of these systems and combines them into one. The goal was to create balance for miners and also for the average user. Just like in the regular system, proof of work miners are needed to build the blocks that create the blockchain. The proof of stake miners are there to make sure that the proof of work miners are creating blocks that are consistent with the desires of the holders of the currency. Decred has set up a mechanism for hard fork voting, and this prevents hard forks from becoming potentially dangerous. While a hard fork is possible, Decred makes it so that the users can vote on the hard fork before the changes are implemented. And then upon passage of the votes, those changes can go live. In fact, Decred just navigated the first fully user-driven hard fork. The block validation times are about 5 minutes. The fees work out to be something like a fraction of a penny, and they have desktop wallets for Macs, Linux, and Windows. So on to the specifics of the consensus system. The mining is straightforward, it works like Bitcoin, but the staking is where it gets a little bit more confusing. The proof of stake system is open to anybody that owns DCR coins, and you use those coins to purchase tickets, and those tickets allow you to participate in the governance of Decred. At the current rate, you need to hold about 80 or 90 Decred to be able to purchase a ticket. Your ticket will need to be mined as part of a block, and each block can only hold about 20 tickets, so chances are you're going to have to wait a while for it to get mined. Or, like most things, you can pay a fee and have the mining process be sped up. Once mined, your ticket will have to wait 256 blocks, which works out to be like 20 hours. And at that point, it will be considered mature and it will be put into the lottery pool. The lottery is designed so that on average, your ticket will get picked within 28 days. There's a 99.5% chance that your ticket will get picked before it expires, and the expiration time is about 4 months. If the ticket is not voted on within its allotted time, it expires, and the ticket fee is lost. But don't worry, the initial cost of the ticket is refunded to you. However, the chances of the expiration happening are about 0.5%. Once chosen, you'll help validate a block, and you'll be rewarded with the cost of the ticket and also a staking bonus. The staking process encourages longer-term investment in the Decred project, and that's because your DCR is tied up for a couple weeks. Luckily, there's an option to join a staking pool, so you can have others vote on your behalf, and pretty much that just means that you won't have to leave your computer running all the time. Stakeholder votes recorded on the blockchain receive a 6% reward on each block, and each block can hold upwards of 5 votes, which means that the total block reward is about 30%. Proof of work receives 60% of the block reward, but that's also dependent on if each block is holding the max of 5 votes that are coming from the stakers. If, say, 3 out of the 5 votes are in the block, the miner has the option to wait, possibly lose the block, and hope that they fill up the 5 votes, or mine it anyways and then just not get as high as a reward. The combination use of mining and staking means that everybody gets a vote and everybody matters when it comes to making changes or deciding the future of Decred. As seen with blockchain lately, hard forks can really ruin a community, so Decred is really trying to prevent that. Sustainability and longevity require that 10% of the block rewards go to the Decred project itself, and that's just to help for future development. Coming up in the future that I've seen on the roadmap is improvements to the wallet and also the implementation of the Lightning Network. Making the Lightning Network function with Decred, or really any cryptocurrency for that matter, is a lot of work. So I was told by the team that implementation is a few weeks out. I also saw that eventually they would like to implement privacy in some capacity. On to the cons. So currently the only way to participate in staking on the Decred network is if you hold 80 or 90 Decred. And as I was recording this, Decred was sitting around $107 US. So for the average person looking to diversify or wanting to pick up the coin because they think, hey, I can earn staking rewards, that's a pretty hefty price tag. But in comparison, there are projects like Dash that have a much higher entry-level cost. Also, if you do not buy enough to purchase a ticket, you could be waiting for your Decred to receive a reward within 4 months. And then there's also the possibility of the ticket expiring. I know they said it's 0.5%, but it's still kind of frustrating. I know that I myself am really impatient. And as far as staking rewards goes, 4 months is a really long time for the average person to wait. Don't get me wrong, I think the idea is great. I think it's a very fair concept. I just think that there's a lot of working parts involved. I saw chatter that in the future Decred may allow people to pool their DCR with several parties so that they have enough to buy a ticket, and then obviously they would get their ticket mined sooner and would get a reward sooner. It would just be less because the reward would have to be split amongst all the people in the party. I personally think that that should be a priority for them to do because I think that it's definitely going to give people more of an incentive to want to buy Decred and buy into the project because they're going to feel like they can actually get something out of it. The pooling is a great way also to build a little bit more of a community base. The last thing I noticed is that outside of the really random wave of Decred requests that I got on Twitter, I don't really see much talk about this project. Within Reddit or whatever else I'm on, I see pretty consistent projects and coins getting brought up, but I never really see Decred that often. And that's probably partially why I didn't know anything about it prior to this video. I think it's a little weird that it's not that popular because considering what it's doing with the hybridized consensus systems, I think it's a good resolution to a lot of the issues that we're having with Bitcoin and everything else. So I'm just surprised to see that there's not as much chatter about it. All in all, I think it's a great project. I don't hold any, obviously, because I didn't really know much about it till this past week. But I think that it's definitely something worth looking into if you want to diversify. Little housekeeping, I moved from Slack to Discord. I know I went from Telegram to Slack and now I'm at Discord. I find that I like Discord a lot better. It's much easier to use. So pop over there. I'll leave the links in the description so that you can come say hi. And as usual, thank you guys for watching and I'll see you soon.